and wants to do so with all of its intensity, not just superficially. Yeah, you write a check for $5, or you go ahead and do a person a favor, you call somebody. That doesn't take any effort. But when you really have to put some effort in, that's when the animal soul starts getting uncomfortable. All of a sudden, it needs some sleep, you haven't eaten lunch yet, you're not feeling well, your stomach hurts you, you got to make a call somewhere else, you're busy. Why are you busy? Because at that moment you have to exert yourself for something that's a little bit uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable to the godly soul, mind you. It's uncomfortable to the animal soul. The animal soul doesn't want to feel good about God. It wants to feel good about Las Vegas. It wants to feel good about watching the Super Bowl. It wants to feel good about playing tennis or golf or drinking a Bud Light, but doesn't want to feel good about praying, davening with all of the heart, because that's not its world. And it doesn't want to lose its world. It's afraid that it will lose its bearing and its control over you if you got too excited. The minute you get excited about doing something, all of a sudden you got all these things that come your way. And therefore he says as follows, not like the error of people, that they make a mistake, to prove that because there is a stray thought that comes into play while you're trying to concentrate, that's proof that the prayer is worthless. For if he would pray properly, and be prepared properly, no stray thoughts would come to the person if he was really truly devoted and really truly prepared. The truth would be, like kedivreim, like their words, if there would be only one soul that's praying, and this is what is thinking and gets involved in these stray thoughts. In truth, these are two separate wills. They're in conflict with each other. In the mind of the person, each one's desire and will, its delight and its will is to rule this body. And the brain should be filled with it alone. And therefore, all thoughts of Torah and fear of God come from the godly soul. And all material matters come from the animal soul. But it's only that the godly soul is engarbed in the physical soul while it's involved in the physical world. It's like a person is davening with all of his heart, and all of a sudden you have this goy, this anti-Semite, stands and starts making fun of you and disturbing you. And he begins to converse and talk to, hey, what's going on? Why'd you answer me? In order to disturb his prayer. This is what he should do. This is the counsel the person should receive. Bivadai, certainly. What should you do when the guy's bothering you? Don't answer him. Don't respond. Don't even look his way. He should make himself like a deaf mute who doesn't hear. Don't answer a fool in his foolish and evil ways, lest you will become like him. You will be involved in his foolishness. You also, who are involved in this process of trying to pray with all of your heart, don't answer it at all. Don't deal with it at all. You know, people try to think, oh, I got to kill this thought. I got to get rid of the thought. I got to kill my desire to ever look at a baseball game. That's not what you have to be thinking. Just change the channel. Ki hamisavik menuvel misnavel gamkein. Because by wrestling with someone that's in slop and in mud, you'll get dirty yourself. So don't wrestle with the guy. Rak yasa atzmi kelo yedei v'lo shemei ha'irurim shenoflu loy, should make as if he doesn't notice or hear the thoughts that have fallen into his mind. V'yasira midaita, and remove them from his mind. V'yosif oimitz, and increase in his intensity. B'koyach kavanos, in the power of his concentration and feeling. V'im yakshaloi la'asira midaita. What happens if after he's done that, he can't remove them from their mind, from his mind? When they sheteradim daita miyad, because they bother him greatly. B'chazoke, with great, that bothers him with great force. It's something that is overwhelming. He can't take it out of his mind. And sometimes we're disturbed by that. We can't change channels because the issue is so great, you can't stop thinking about it. Somebody insulted you. You got into a fight with your wife. You have a problem with your partner. Your friend has been embezzling from you. There are certain situations where you can't stop thinking about those things. And you got to daven. So what do? And you can't change channels because you're so emotionally involved. It reaches a deeper level of the subconscious, and it's hard to remove those thoughts. So then there's another way of dealing with it. Azayashbil nafshel Hashem. He should humble his soul before God. V'yischanen lo yizborech b'machshavto, and he should plead to God in his thought. L'rachim olav, to have compassion upon him, b'rachamov hameruvim, with his great and abundant compassion, kirachim aval bonim, like a father has compassion on a son, on children, hanimshochim imoicha, which come from his brain. V'kocha yirachim Hashem al nafshem l'shechas mitei yizborech, so too God will have compassion on his soul that is drawn from God. La'atzila mimayim azidodim, to save it from the turbulent waters. U'lemayna yasa, and for God's sake he shall do. Ki chelik havayim hamasham, for the soul, the person, the people of Israel are part of God in actual, in the physical. And therefore, God will help you. So now we've gone full circle. We have two methods of dealing with things that are disturbing us in our thoughts. Method number one is go around it. Change channels. Don't think about it. Disregard it. It doesn't exist. It's immaterial. It's somebody you shouldn't be listening to. If your dog was barking at you, you wouldn't argue with the dog, would you? So don't argue with this thought. Just get rid of it. Think about something else. But if it's bothering you so deeply, you can't stop thinking about it because it's emotionally tied to you, then you have to go above it. You have to connect with God and say, God, you gave me this soul, and my soul has got to pray. Let me pray. And so the person is lifted to a higher level, and at a higher level, the stray thoughts can't, at such a rarefied level, on such a high mountain where God is, the thoughts, the evil thoughts can't work and function. So you're going above it. Transformation, which is the third method. Remember, we talked about the Hasidic doctrine of transformation. That's not for the common man, because you can only transform something when you have power over the thing, when you're above the thing, when you are at a higher vantage point and you can bring the thing to your vantage point. But if you're at a lower vantage point, you enjoy slop. You enjoy getting down and dirty. You can't elevate down and dirty if you're down and dirty yourself. You can only transform something when you are coming from a higher vantage point. And this is coming to you not from your own personal experience, but from somebody else's that has brought it into your attention. Then you can transform. So here we go. You go around, above, or you transform. But transformation is only for the tzaddik, not for the average man. Therefore, first you go around by your own efforts, and then you go above